Question right now.
What's up?
Now that we're getting to you, how old are you?
I'm 28.
You're 28.
Yeah, I just turned 28 like November, like a couple months ago, like 5 months ago, 6 months
Well,
ago.
God bless you. But did you figure 10 years ago you would be where you are right now?
Nah, I don't think so.
What did you think you would be doing
I
from
didn't
18
know.
to 28?
I didn't know what I was gonna do. Like I had no idea. I didn't have any plans. I was just like grinding, kind of just waiting for something to happen. And I remember like when I got hit up, like when Rosenberg first asked me to come work with him, I was like working at a pizzeria, like at my tipping point, like really, like what am I doing with myself? Like I really was just at a dead end, didn't know what to do. So like I didn't plan for any of this to happen, but like I'm very thankful it did.
So is it true you technically first reached out to Rosenberg on MySpace?
Yup. That was like earlier. So like I hit him up on MySpace maybe like a couple years before um like we ended up actually connecting. So I would like run into him here and there at shows. We would like chat on MySpace like time to time, but like I didn't really start working with him until like MySpace was already gone. So like we made the initial connection there for sure.
Because when I had read, because of course, to interview someone, you got to read their bios, stuff like that. And that's why I thought you were younger than me because you said 25. I'm like, damn, what am I doing right now?
That bio is just old. I gotta update it. There's probably so much to add.
Well, I can edit it for you if you like.
Oh yeah, all right.
I'm a nerd.
I like it.
Deep down on the low, I'm a nerd, but we'll talk after about that. So it said that you contacted him like a few times, and then you snuck into a few shows. Like, did you not get in trouble for any of that?
Nah, I was good at finessing my way into shows. Like I would make friends with security and like throw them a couple of dollars. They let me through, or like I would just sneak back with like artists or like whoever I would see going like back and forth from backstage. So I never got in trouble for it, but like I definitely like had to finesse it. Like it wasn't just easy. Like 1, 2, 3, walk backstage. Like you got to find holes in the fences for sure.
Like it made it sound like you did all of that. I'm like, can I do that? Like, well,
I think anybody could do it. I just think that you have to have like that finesse. You have to really like, be checking out the area and like seeing where you could get in. Like, because I mean, honestly, it's like when I was younger, I would get in trouble and I used to do like a lot of like shiesty shit, like little stealing stuff here and there. And like, I think just that mentality of like, I'm gonna figure this out and not get caught is like, you gotta just go for it sometimes. And I mean, for me, it paid off for sure.
Did that come from moving around, like when you were younger?
What, like trying to sneak backstage and stuff?
No. I mean, like the whole
The finesse,
the fittest finessing stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I think like when you want to do something and you're like relentless about it, you're gonna figure out a way no matter what. Like it's not even necessarily that like I was like spectacular at finessing in itself. Like I definitely gotten better over the years, but like at the time it was just like I'm gonna figure this out, like, and it's gonna work. And honestly, like the intention wasn't even a link with Rosenberg. Like I really wanted to meet Nas. Like I was just a huge Nas fan. So I was really sneaking backstage to just try and get closer to see that show, and like it just turned out that we would cross paths there.
So you're being pretty much a super fan and end up getting famous all for something else.
I mean, over a lot of time, I'm still not famous, like, but people I guess know me more now than back then.
I mean, it's funny though, because I always heard your name circulate, and then I was like, okay, well, what time is on? And that's usually the time I'm sleeping.
Yeah, everybody.
Unless it's one of those days where I'm actually working, then I'll be like, okay, I'll play the music.
Okay.
But then everyone started like really talking about you. I'm like, okay, I gotta meet you. I was like, I gotta figure this out. Like when I started managing S3 Radio, they were like so insistent on getting you when Nas was still on the show.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay, we'll do it. Never ended up happening, which I'm sorry about.
Nah, it's all good. I'm always down. Like anytime anybody wants to interview me, like I'm all about it. Like I would love to tell the story a million times because I just think it's like it's good for people to see like the path on how people get to where they're at. Like I definitely watch a lot of videos of interviews just to see how people figured out how to get in their situation. So I could talk about it all day.
Like how did you adapt to everything? Because you've moved from Long Island to Queens, from Queens to like Florida, Florida to New York. What is that? All the different living situations taught you.
I mean, you learn different things at each place. Like honestly, when I was in Florida, I was like more in like upper, like they have money. Like it was just like a upper class neighborhood. It was like a gated community. So like you see things on that side of life completely different when you're coming from like a more like lower class situation. So it's just like everywhere you go, trying to relate to people, trying to sympathize with people, trying to see like how you could add and help people. And it's just like you pick things up along the way. But I think it naturally happens. Like I think you just have to always have the attitude of like, no matter where I'm at, I'm gonna just try and like do the right thing by people and make friends and not have like enemies.
Okay. What? I'm pulling up my question again. How did music fall into your whole journey?
I mean, music's been around since day one. Like for me, it's been like the biggest piece of my journey, I guess. Because like even before I was working in music, even before I thought of working in music, like it was just an outlet for me. Like music's always kind of just been something that like I could escape to and just not really deal with the bullshit. Like sit back and just have a song kind of like bring down like if I'm tight, like if I'm angry or something, like I listen to music, it'll calm me down. Or like you excited, you celebrating, you listen to music, getting like energy to turn up. So it's always been there for me, honestly, like more so than anything or anyone in my life. Like all I've really always had consistently was music. So
Has there been a situation music could not get you out of?
yeah, plenty of situations. Music, I feel like music doesn't really get you out of many situations, but like it depends. Every situation is different. So like there's definitely things that I've learned working in music that like I'm sure I could apply to other stuff, but like as far as music itself getting me out of a situation, I don't know. Maybe.
Before you actually started working in music, what did you actually want to do? Or did you not have a plan yet?
I didn't have like a set plan, but I was definitely like cutting hair. I worked at a pizzeria, so I was like thinking of either opening a barber shop or a pizzeria. I tried to go to pharmacy school. I was like working at pharmacies too, so I was into
And
that.
you did college and everything with that.
I tried. I did like three. I went to three colleges. I dropped out each time. Like I couldn't stick through with college. I just don't believe in it.
So I mean, I'm doing my master's right now in public relations, and sometimes like there's days I feel like yeah I can do it, and then I realize my date is like to graduate in 2020. I'm like no fuck this shit, I'll do it on my own. You know,
It's tough. Like you have to really have the patience for it. Like I have a hard time relating to people that went to school because it's just like I don't understand that system and like the structure of it.
like is it really like is this paper really gonna help you get a job?
I mean, it could. I don't know. Like I personally don't believe that it makes much of a difference when it comes to at least music. But like there's things people are passionate about, like law or like being a doctor and things like that, where you have to have the paper. Like
But even there's still some things where you need a college degree. Because I remember when I tried to apply to be an intern at Power, they said I needed a master's or a
yeah,
bachelor's.
nah, it helps. Like you could find ways around it when it comes to music. There's definitely like opportunities out there that you could just kind of like be in the know or connect with people and like get them. But college definitely helps like connect dots. But I think it's just like it's harder in ways when you go to college because as much as you might be like qualified for the gig or like you might have the technical like no like
Yeah, but you don't have the hands-on support because no one's gonna give you a job.
yeah, well, you spent, essentially 4 years in a structure like where it's like you're around the same people all the time. And I think the biggest thing that helps you in music, even outside of just having skills on the technical side, is like, just knowing people, like plain and simple, is being around and really like connecting dots and seeing people face to face. And I think you're more limited at doing that when you're in college.
And it's even worse when you do it online. You really don't meet no one.
It sucks because the online approach I feel like would be better if it was like when I was reaching out through MySpace like 10 years ago. I think now it's just there's no respect in it. Because when I sent Rosenberg a message, like it wasn't like, hey, check me out, let me work for you. It was like a full, like, it was like an essay almost of like, this is what I want to do. This is what I like, this is how I feel about it. Like, I think it's all in the approach. Like you could still get through to people online, but a lot of times when you're just hitting them with like a yo, check out my record, they don't really care. But if you hit somebody up and like you've done your research on them and you're really trying to connect dots, like more times than not, they'll be open to talking to you. If
That's what
it's
I did
not,
to you.
yeah, you see, and we here, hey.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's just like be genuine. Honestly, like it's the internet. I think is full of a lot of ish, but at the end of the day, like if you can tell when somebody's being genuine when they're really like supporting your lives or coming in the DMs, whatever.
Because I see your post and I'm like, well, you seem normal.
I'm mad normal.
No, like, I'm sorry. There's still, like, a lot of people that are famous that are, like, mad, stuck up and snooty. And I could say it. I don't care. Sue me, whoever thinks otherwise.
I don't get, like, my shits and giggles from being famous at all. Like, I really don't even acknowledge it.
Does it honestly phase you at all?
Nah, it doesn't phase me. Like, I could care less, but like my goal was never really to be famous. Like, I think people that put so much weight in that, like, those are the ones that really have a harder time understanding it. Like me, I kind of just look at like what's actually going on, because there's always levels to the fame. Like people always just look at like, the glitz and glamour, but it's like if you really study why people are famous and like what they're doing to maintain it, there's a lot of work that goes into like really having an image and marketing yourself and branding yourself. And then there's paperwork with contracts and things like that. That like everybody that's kind of really well known is more well known because they're focused on the paperwork and their contracts and like their marketing and not worrying so much about like, look at me, look at me.
So do you do your own marketing, or does the station?
I do pretty much everything myself. Like my marketing for sure could be better. Like I don't know too much about marketing, but like I definitely do most of it on my own. Like just as far as promoting like the stuff that I'm putting out. But it's tough. Like it takes balance. Like honestly, the best thing is like if you have a real solid team behind you.
But
like,
you do?
Yes, I do.
Who do you got here with you today?
I got Haley and Scally.
Haley and Scally, it rhymes.
Yeah. And these are my homies for a minute. I've known Scally since I'm a kid. Haley's been hanging out with me for like 6 months now.
No.
8 months now.
Oh damn! She had to correct you. It's 8 months.
She always jumps out the window and corrects me.
I mean,
that's the best assistant in the game right there. You see?
Oh, do you have a twin? I kind of need one because my life is like all over the place. If you're willing to work for like 2 people, I could pay you in photo shoots and food.
There you go. You know what, Haley? You're fired. You work for her now. There you go.
I mean, but you're gonna have to give him back his calendar back.
Yeah, you gotta log out of my calendar.
So, you also did photography at one point.
Well, I worked for like a photography company, so I wasn't taking the pictures.
Oh, thank you for clarifying that.
Nah, it's all good. I'm not really nice with a camera, like except the camera phone. But like, I worked at a photography company where you would like put pictures in frames, so you go all over the place, like the Jersey, Connecticut, like Boston, just everywhere. And like you work at all these weddings and like bar mitzvahs and just like events, and you just putting pictures in frames for like 5 hours.
Oh, so it's one of those. Okay, yeah. That's pretty cool though, because you get to meet different people.
Yeah, and you eat really good at the catering halls.
See, that's what I like about doing private events when I do photography. It's like, okay, I'm gonna take the pictures. I don't care about the liquor, but can I have some food?
That's it. Yeah, and the food's always on point at the catering hall, so it's like you can't go wrong.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I did that for a while. I was at that job like 4 or 5 years.
So that was Where the Saudis At from, of course, Coney Brook and the South Boys, which is JR. Oh wow, I was about to say JR too, but he is a South Boy, but he wasn't on the song. Swag the Rapper, Ray Fame, Coney Brooks, and Teddy Grahams. And then we also played Don't Waste My Time from Dave the Doughboy, Fly Tie from Rockboy GZ's, Mashika, and Sean Rock. What did you think of the tracks?
I liked it. I feel like I heard a Trina reference on there. Was Trina on one of those records? Or am I bugging?
It was Mashika.
Mashika, okay.
No, not Trina. If it was Trina,
either way, it was fire.
It was fire. Either way,
killed it.
I like this one because, like, I like Don't Waste My Time because it has meaning. Like, you see a lot of people, especially in the industry, always promising you $1 in a dream
all day,
and it never happens. So then you see these artists, and this show I play primarily independent. Once in a while, if let's say I get lazy and don't want to whatever, we play whatever is on his laptop, or whatever the case may be. But the show is always primarily independent, where we give the independent artist the platform to speak their truth, to talk about their craft, and make sure they have an outlet to put it out there. Because when we were younger, we were always pushing and
Nah,
struggling. And
facts. I love that y'all supporting Coney Brooks. That man's fire right there.
see, Coney is the best friend, big brother. The person that's gonna probably slap me over the head if I do something wrong.
Oh, so you and Coney know each other?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay. That's the guy.
That's my guy. I met Coney when I was in WVMR. In a 6-hour Christmas party we decided to throw on a Monday night.
Wow.
Worst idea ever. Right, Rock? That's how bad it was. We thought it'd be a good idea to combine all 3 shows that were on Monday nights. And it turned out like a lot of cleaning that had to be done. People jumping on top of tables and never again doing that again.
Sounds like a fun party, though.
It was extremely fun.
Until after, when you had to clean up.
Until the aftermath where I got yelled at by him.
Oh.
I was like, okay, I will never do this again. And then I did it again for in April.
Of course.
But that one wasn't that bad though. The one in April when my show came back?
Yeah, I wasn't there for that one, right?
Yes, you were. You were engineering my show.
Just your part, not that whole stretch.
Well, no, they didn't come. They didn't do their set. They came though to chill.
Exactly. So long as I didn't do that stretch, I was good.
Yeah, that's a valid fact though. But we're still here. But what I like about Coney and everyone though, they take the classics, and they make them their own way.
It's raw for sure.
It's very raw, and they very much. First of all, they avoid every loophole possible to get their music on iTunes. Because I found Back It Up on freaking iTunes the other day. After I forgot about it, but I remembered now. But there's always just a different twist between each and every song they do. Like you have Fame that just put out the Trauma remix. You know Ray Fame, right?
Oh, I believe so.
Like he came through all of these struggles he went through, and then put out this fire ass freestyle. I'm like, okay, I hear you. I see you, boy. You working. And it's like everyone in that camp always keeps working.
That's it. That's the key, is stay hungry, stay working.
They should have like their own show. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, yo, shoot it.
I mean, you're my guy. You with that shit? Like we can make money. HipHop Mike could produce it.
That's it. I want the production credit.
Exactly.
Just for saying shoot it.
Exactly. But let's get back to you, of course.
Alright.
How do you feel about the current, like, because you're always around the underground.
Mm-hmm.
At least wherever I see you, everyone's posting something about hip-hop, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the current state, like, how artists are in the underground?
It's interesting, honestly. Like, the climate's different than what it was before, and it's hard to like define what the underground is, because it's like there's so much stuff that's buzzing on the internet that could be considered mainstream, but the mainstream might not be on it, and then there's stuff that's mainstream that the underground don't know about. So it's almost like diluted, I feel like. But I mean, for the underground, I'd say my one opinion on it is that I think a lot of people, regardless of whether they're like super popping and streaming or not, and maybe just haven't broke through to be on radio, they just have to have more of that idea of like what the mainstream stuff is. Because I think you could operate on the underground circuit and like just making great music. Like you can make great music and still be underground and kill it and do well and have a fan base and all that. But like to come to mainstream, you almost have to have like a little bit of business intuition. And I think a lot of artists just completely ignore the business part of it and put all their investment in the music, which is cool, but like then don't expect to cross over. So like I love a lot of the stuff that comes out of like the underground, a lot of the up and coming artists, like what they make. But I'm also frustrated with the underground because I feel like there's a lot of great talent there that, you know, should be crossing over, or, you know, people should be coming along and trying to help them learn and do more.
So what do you think, other than developing a sense of business, what do you feel they need to acquire for themselves in order to, let's say, be able to present something to you to get in the mainstream?
I mean, I think if you're just a student of the game, you'll figure it out. Like, there's no one right way to get on, like to get on, or like even to with approaching me. Like, there's no one right way. But I think you could always tell whether you're me or anybody else that's just like a fan of music. You know when it's genuine and when they're really putting their all into it, or when they're just kind of doing it for like a little bit more attention or like just to have a link in their bio. So it's like it depends, because I truly look just for people that are unrelentlessly themselves and like just true artists. But a lot of times I feel like people aren't themselves, or they're not like really on the artist tip, but they're more just like, oh, I make music, like it's cool. But like the people that are really passionate about it are always the ones that end up like really going through the motions and learning how to cross over. And like I'm always trying to look for those. Like I'm always trying to find people that are like, you know, really driven to be the best and are like making the smart steps to do so and not just talking about it.
Okay. So what do you feel an artist has in their music to make it a radio worthy track?
I mean, it's subjective these days. Like, it's hard to say what's radio worthy.
Because we hear a lot of mumble crap lately, and you know that.
Nah, it's true. I mean, I don't program the music at hot like at any station, but you notice that like no matter what station you go to, it's all kind of consistent. And like I'm not aware enough of like the technology they use. Like, there's a way to see how the songs like rank and what people listen to and how long they listen for, and like whether they turn off the radio when the song comes on or switch the station and stay when the song comes on. So like those studies, that's how they really go about picking the artists that are like in the rotation. But for me personally, like my show, I play a lot of up and coming artists that aren't signed or any of that, you know, might not get plays all day. And what I look for again is just like somebody that's super talented, that has some traction going. That's like, that's just active. I feel like if you're making smart moves, like you'd be active. Even if you have 1,000 followers, your likes and your comments will reflect how many people you're really reaching. So like it's not necessarily so much about following or like where the placement is at first, I feel like. But for me, I just want to see people that are like, you know, doing something that they believe in and, you know, maybe might be a little different than, you know, what there was before, even if it's influenced by such.
What do you feel the common misconception about FM radio?
That's a good question.
Coney helped me with that one. I have to actually be honest about that. I gotta give him his credit.
I'll be honest, there's not many misconceptions. I mean, I think the only one is that people put a lot of investment in it, and they don't realize that like whether a song is played once on the radio or not played at all doesn't make much of a difference. I think the radio is really beneficial to the people that it like consistently plays. But if you have DJs who are supporting certain records, you know, the misconception I'd say is like that you can't get on the radio without a label. Like you can, you just have to really be a student of radio. And I think that's a hard thing for people, is like they don't realize that, you know, certain DJs play certain things, or that their song might make sense with this person, or this is somebody you walk up to and say hello to, this is somebody you email. So it's really just being a student. But like I'd say the biggest misconception is that it's unattainable, because I really think that, you know, to get on the radio, although difficult, it's not impossible.
So I was recording you at the same time. Let me just save this for you. When you started at Hot 97, you started as an intern or you started as an assistant?
I started as an assistant. So it's weird how I kind of came up, because I was an assistant before I was employed at Hot. So like I was working at Sleepy's selling beds and like just assisting Rosenberg on the side, and still working like all these random jobs, like cutting hair, making pizza, all that. So like it really took some time for Hot to hire me, and I was an assistant for like 4 years. I'm still an assistant. Like to this day, I still help Rosenberg out with all his stuff. So it's like I never really stopped, but like I came in the door more as like street team, which is like promotions.
Yeah.
Just off the fact that like I had been assisting Rosenberg. Anybody else would have really came in as an intern and like worked in other departments, but I kind of went straight to promotions.
So now you're considered an assistant, personality.
Yeah, everybody's like Rosenberg's assistant to Peter Rosenberg. I mean, it's just like it's more a friendship and like a day-to-day like just maintaining stuff thing than it is like an assistant role like traditionally.
Yeah, because I figured if you had your own slot, wouldn't you be considered a radio DJ by now?
Yeah, I mean, right now my main title, I guess, would be radio personality. But I'm saying I would just out of necessity, like I'm always there to assist Rosenberg, like no matter what. Like if you ask Funk Flex to pick up Red Alert's crates today, like Flex will still look out. So it's like, there's something about just coming in with people that, put you in positions to win and kind of show you the way, and like you follow their lead, that like you always end up kind of just being there for them and supporting them no matter what.
Is it true the first time you actually went out with Rosenberg, he told you to come with a car and a bunch of biddies?
I mean, that's not 100%. He said if I wanted to bring girls, I could bring girls.
And pick him up.
And he asked me to pick him up, but I didn't have my car. My car was messed up. So, like, my car being messed up, I was driving like a hoopty, and I just happened to find some girls that wanted to go, and they had a new car.
And they drove you.
So they drove me, and I sat in the back seat, and then Rosenberg got in the back seat and was like, "You got girls driving you around?" And like, I was like, I mean, be like that. Like, but that's the thing. Like, that's why I say being an assistant, like, it's deeper than just being like, okay, here's the schedule, and I'm gonna get you A to B. It's like you have to really be like intuitive and be on point, like, and just know how to kind of like figure out things no matter what. Like, I had to think 10 steps ahead of, like, I don't want to pull up to a club in this car when he has a reputation to hold up. So it's like, it's the little things that I feel like really stand out and, like, was what kept me around. And it's like one of those things happened to be that sparked it. Was just like, I didn't want to pick him up in a shitty car. I wanted to, like, really make an impression. And it just turned out that, like, I was able to do so.
And what was it like afterwards working together from that moment?
Well, I got my car back, which was cool. So I got that back, and like I was driving like a solid car again. I had like a nice little Maxima, and like from then on out, it was just kind of like me and him. Like we never really hung out with girls ever. Like even that first night was like the first time, but like he's married. Like I'm not really, like I was working a bunch of jobs. Like I'm not sweating it. So like it was really just me and him. Like after that, just driving around everywhere or traveling or flying, and like everywhere we went, it was like either the two of us or like me, him, and his brother, and like that was the team.
So the whole thing about hip hop personalities and DJs always being around women, that whole misconception obviously is false.
I think so. I mean, it depends. Like you have to again look at the individual, because I think like even for me personally, like I know for sure people think I'm such a player, and I'm just like working a job where I'm like my schedule is not consistent. I'm all over the place. So like I think it looks one way, but like not every DJ's in the strip clubs, not every DJ's talking to bottle girls. Like there's a handful that do, but there's also a handful that don't. So like, it's again, it's a misconception, I feel like.
So no creep squad.
Yeah, nah, I'm not with the creep squad. I'm like, I can't. It takes too much energy, honestly. And I feel like when you're like on some like creep squad ish, like you have to be cut out for that. Like you have to be built for that. Like I'm just not about it. Like I can't. I feel weird creeping anything.
So I gotta ask.
What's up?
Because Rosenberg is a giant wrestling person. Are you a wrestling fan?
I know a little bit, but I'm not like a super wrestling fan.
Damn,
I'm sorry to disappoint you. I know the show's Monday Night Raw.
Oh my God, you were so close though. It was the coffee, it was the substances, it was the water. You had one more.
I tried. It was close. I mean, I don't know anything about wrestling, honestly. Like I've been to a bunch of stuff. Like I've seen a lot of wrestlers, but again, it's like as an assistant, I wasn't really into the show. I was always just kind of like
helping him.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's everything. Like I was never considering my own stuff. I was always just on the time of like whether we, there were times where we were in rooms with like superstars, like big time celebrities. Like I'm talking Paris Hilton and like Amber Rose and all this.
Paris Hilton is not a big time celebrity
She's
anymore.
a big celebrity. Like
I mean, not like she used to be though.
Nah, but I mean, this is 8 years ago also.
True.
But like there's been times where we're in rooms like that, and it's like, you're not taking pictures, you're not even paying attention to the conversation. You're really just like, when his drink's done, I'm going to make sure another one's there. So it's like, you really got to be focused on the job and not so much of like the friendship, unless it's like, conducive to that, I say. Because it's like, at the end of the day, although I travel around with him and all that stuff, like, the intention for him isn't to really do anything with me outside of like just he's putting me around situations, but like really I'm there to make sure that he gets to the levels he wants to get to.
Okay. What do you feel like it's been your highest points and your lowest points as a media personality?
I'd say highest point is probably just anytime I get to bring friends to stuff. Like it's always my favorite. Like if I get to bring friends on the road with me, or like traveling, or like bring friends to like shows where they get to see people from like the stage as opposed to being in the crowd, like that's always the high point. Close second is like getting on air at Hot. Like that was awesome. I never thought I'd crack that microphone, and like once they trusted me with that, that was definitely a very high point. But number one for sure is like just seeing like my friends be able to do shit that they wouldn't normally be able to do. Low point, it's tough. I don't know. Like I don't feel like there's ever a real low point, but just because I've been in like other circumstances in life where I've been at low points, so like when it comes to the music stuff, like it's hard to pick one where it was just like that bad, because I feel like it's either like you're in a good mood or you're in like a weird vibe, like, but it's never negative. Like, and again, that's just me. Like I really appreciate every day in this music stuff, because like my low point was selling mattresses or like breaking into houses when I was a kid. Like those are my low points. It's never been anything like music related.
And how come? Tell us a little bit about that. Like your bio and everything said you did go through some points where you were breaking into houses. You were doing all that.
Yeah, we was wilding out. For no reason, honestly. Like, I mean, I definitely wanted to get like my money up, and I was paying like rent really young and like in crazy situations. And like, I just didn't gravitate to like the school kids. Like, I wasn't really in the mix of like people after middle school that were like close to their families and like in great situations. Like, I left middle school, I moved to Florida for a year and was removed from everything. And then I came back, and it's like you're a year in high school. Everybody's already got their friends. Everybody already knows everybody. And I'm like a new kid. So like I just kind of gravitated to the bullshit. Like I gravitated to the kids that were like straight out the hood. They didn't like, you know, they were on their own shit too. And it's just like I kind of just slipped into it, and like I did well. Like I was fired, breaking into houses and doing shit, and like we were getting crazy money. So it's like you're young and you're stupid, and you're not thinking about like how it affects people outside of just your world. So like my world was just like I just want to get this money up and like not have to rely on anybody for anything. And like I did it, but I think like it came at a cost for sure. And like what I ended up getting like locked for and like going to a group home for was the smallest thing in like the grand scheme of all the crazier things I did. Like I never got arrested for like ever like pulling a gun out on nobody or like being in a house. Like I got arrested for like a BB gun in school. So it's like I think the karma caught up with me for all the bad shit on top of like the little bit of bad karma for the one thing I got in trouble for.
See, I just had a flashback to a memory of a friend of mine that brought a BB gun to school.
It's trouble.
Got picked up by what do they call it? It wasn't this. What they call the school cops back in the day with the big trucks?
Oh, like the AIDS or something? I don't know.
Something like that.
Truancy cops. Yes. Yeah.
I literally was trying to find that word so badly. My friend literally came one day, like still my best friend right now. One day pissed somebody off. Someone pissed him off, so he because they took his BB gun, so he took the BB gun away from him and like he was trying to tell him, you know, to be serious. Don't take my BB gun. Like, does it look like a joke to you? Pointed it at the kid's head, and truancy came.
That's it. See, I was like in Long Island at the time, so there wasn't much truancy in any of that. Like I started getting ran down on by like truancy cops when I moved to Brooklyn, but I was like the oldest kid, so I was like a year older than all my friends, and they were still in high school. So I'd pull up with like the car and take them to lunch, and the cops would run down on the car and be like extra. I'm like, nah, I'm out of school, I'm done. But like in Long Island, there was nobody to check anything. Like we used to run around the streets and skip school all day, and nobody would say shit. Like.
I mean, see, I was that unique case because I broke my leg twice while I was in high school. So I used to use the crutches to get myself out of it, saying I was going to a doctor's appointment, and meanwhile I was going to White Castle to be a fat ass.
It happens.
I mean, and the funny thing is, because I went to LIC, so we had someone named Level 3. So Level 3 is like, okay, as long as you bring me back some food, I'm good. I'm like, deal. Just let me in through the side. I'm that one person that went to high school, graduated at the top of a class, and always just within the school, but just never in the actual class. Sorry, Mom. But
Are you still watching, Mom?
Yes, she is.
She did good. She did all right.
Listen, I graduated with all A's, so that's all that mattered.
There you go.
I mean, I don't know if she's still watching. It says she's there, but fuck it.
Oh, if it says she's there, she's there.
Gotta love Mama Duke.
That's one thing I learned from Insta Live. If it says they there.
Oh, your mom watches too?
Oh, my mom is blocked, but there's definitely people that watch.
You block your mom?
Yeah, no, my mom can't watch anything I do.
See?
That's a whole nother story.
Here's my thing. My mother knows how I am. I'm my mother's daughter, so I already have a raunchy mouth like she does. I really don't care no more because I get that from my dad's side of the family. I'm literally like the mix of a devil child between the two of them. So she already knows how I am. So the fact she's still surprised that someone actually thought it was a good idea for me to have my own talk show. I still don't know why they're
good. As long as she's supporting you, that's all that matters.
I mean, she supports me. She wishes I would curse less, but obviously not fucking happening. But by the way, if anyone wants to ask Hip Hop Mike questions on the feed, you're more than welcome to. Shout out to Majesty the Rebel.
Yeah.
That goes, yeah, it's lit. What's good, y'all? Ray Fame put some flames.
Y'all got questions?
Y'all got questions for Mr. Hip Hop Mike himself?
How's that attendance looking? Does it tell you how many people are watching?
Well, right now we have 4 people watching here.
Okay. We're lit. We out here.
We very lit right now.
That's like how many people be in my Insta Live all the time. So I love it because you get 4 people, you're going to get like 10 questions that's solid.
Oh, yeah.
You get 100 people, it just be like, listen to my tape, listen to my tape, listen to my tape.
Like, you really only get 5 people in your lives? I find that a lie, though.
What, me?
Yeah.
I mean, like, at this time, yeah, probably like 11 o'clock on a Monday, it'd be like 5-10 people in there. Like, the most I've gotten is like a couple hundred, but like on average, it'd be like 12 people in that bit.
And what do you normally talk about in your life?
It depends on the day. I always say that, like, I'm weird as an entertainer because I can't, like, trigger it like everybody else does. Like, I feel like a lot of people are able to just kind of turn on and off, like, them wanting to entertain people. Me, I have, like, moods where I'm, like, super extra and I'll go on live and bug out.
You want to talk about extra? You should have seen my live last week.
Yeah, what happened?
So, it was Valentine's Day last week.
Okay.
So, I manage an artist, Nikki Owen. They sent you her music. We learned about National Side Bitch Side. I can't say the N-word because I'm white day.
The 15th.
The 13th and the 15th.
Oh, okay. They get 2 days.
So the 13th is Side Bitch Day. Because the day before and the day after is the Side Guy Day.
Okay.
So we went in and started talking about that. And then she goes and made up a whole Side Bitch association.
Really? Where
the anthem is to SZA, The Weeknd. And all of this, like, literally with a 2-hour live. And mind you, we were in the car with each other. And then she decided to invite me to her live.
Really?
So we're literally talking to each other in the same room with 2 different windows.
So then what happened? You guys are just getting cooked.
We just cooking.
Oh, y'all was cooking people.
Yeah. And the next day we did the same thing. And some guy, because we were with each other the whole weekend, going from different gigs to different gigs.
Okay.
And then out of nowhere, there's this white guy playing Anthony Santos, Your Voice, something like that. But like playing like literally bachata on a guitar.
Okay.
And singing. And we're just sitting here like, okay, time to do another live. And just turn into that. To the whole train right on the F. It's just like, it gets crazy sometimes. But I would figure with you, your lives would always be lit.
I mean, they be lit, but they be still just a couple people in there. It'd be like 12 of the most lit people you ever seen in your life.
So we got a question right now from Rolando Nellis. Up? He wants to know, who are your top 5 rappers?
That's such a dicky question. It's so hard to say because it's like, I have a top 5 of like people that I listen to now. I have top 5 throwback, like the OGs. Like, I'll for sure say like Nas is definitely in that list somewhere. I'll say, see, it's hard because like I want to put Eminem in that list, but I feel like that's wasting a good slot because he might be 6.
Why would you say putting Eminem. Okay, this year, 2019 Eminem. Yes.
Well, that's the problem though. Is like that's why it's such a hard list to make because I haven't liked Eminem's music in like 10 years almost.
Why?
Because it's not hitting. It's good. Like, don't get it twisted. It sounds good. Like, sonically, it's well put together. His bars are on point. But, like, Rock was saying, like, we can't just sit in the car and ride around to it like how we used to. It doesn't move me the way, like, his older stuff does.
But up until Marshall Mathers LP 2, I would say he was good.
I agree. I think he was pretty good.
Kamikaze, he brought back what he had with Slim Shady. You have to say that.
Yeah. Even Marshall Mathers LP2, they had, what was the one before that? He had a couple before that. There was like one or two songs on it that were cool, but it wasn't like, he's just not consistent anymore, like with the bangers. Like, he's consistent with the lyrical content, but the bangers, they not hitting like they used to.
Well, you gotta remember, Eminem is almost, 50 now?
I feel you, but like still, you should be able to rap. Like, he hasn't had no smashes since Encore 2004. He had like maybe one on Relapse. He had like two on Recovery. Marshall Mathers LP was trash. Revival was trash, and Kamikaze's trash.
Kamikaze was not trash.
Kamikaze's trash.
Rock, did you think Kamikaze was trash?
To be honest, I haven't kept up with Eminem in I don't even know how many years.
And why is that, S-Rock?
Because I got tuned out. Like,
because he's putting out trash.
Right. It wasn't hitting for me, to be quite honest. It's just like, all right, Eminem, he can rap. I know that, but I'm not feeling the song. Like, I'm not vibing with it. So it didn't do nothing for me. I don't listen.
It hurts my soul that I don't like him, by the way. Like, it's not that I'm like all gung ho, like, yeah, Eminem's garbage. Like, I'm disappointed that Eminem's trash these days. Like, I want the real Slim Shady back.
I want the real Slim Shady too, but then you're gonna say, like, you gonna call him Old Shady now?
Listen, I don't support people doing drugs, but Eminem needs to do some drugs. He needs to do some. Yeah, I said it. He needs to do some drugs now.
But that's how I feel about The Weeknd, because when he put Starboy,
The Weeknd needs to do drugs too.
Like
both of them.
Like, seriously, they need to stop. Like,
together, facts.
What was?
Him, like, God bless him, not doing drugs, but there's a reason Sammy Sosa's not playing ball no more.
Smoke weed.
Yeah, but that's not gonna help him. He's Eminem. He can't just smoke weed.
Did you really put the live video? Will resume in a moment.
I didn't put it. Okay, it happens sometimes when there's a glitch, so then you got to get it back on. It's on now. Actually,
you see, Eminem's coming for us right now.
The way I just said, smoke my weed. Oh, he just locked the door too. That's how this conversation
just in case. Be on the safe side.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. So you
bizarre to kick in the whole door with a shower cap.
Yes.
It's like, what'd you say about Marshall?
So Kane writes, Kamikaze was trash. HipHop Mike is real. And something about in a controlled environment. But Majesty the Rebel goes, Mike, as an artist, how do we get an interview on Hot 97?
You got to be popping. Get your shit out there. I hate when people ask me for interviews. I'm going to say it here. I say it sometimes, but like I'm going to say it blatantly here. I hate when people ask me for interviews. I hate it. I hate it all to like straight up. Don't you
have a podcast too where you do interviews?
Yeah, no, I love doing interviews. I just hate when people ask for them because I feel like you shouldn't have to be like, hey, interview me. You should be doing enough stuff that I'm going crazy trying to get in touch with you. If I'm not trying to get in touch with you, as the guy at Hot 97 that gets in touch with the youth, then you need to go shoot for a smaller station. You're not ready yet. Like, and people want their first interview to be at Hot 97. That makes no sense to me.
I mean, I always wanted my first job to be at Hot 97, but I also realize I'm 26.
Nah, I feel you, but I'll tell you, if your first job was at Hot 97, it wouldn't be on air. Your first job would be street team and then board hopping and then producing.
Oh, yeah. So, that's the stuff I actually want to do.
But it's the same for artists. But artists want to go straight to being on air. That's the problem. They don't hit me up like, hey, can I come by and observe you? Can I come by and watch you interview? They ask for that after I say it. Nobody's ever came to me like, hey, Mike, I would love to sit in on an interview and just see you do what you do. Or I'm an artist. I want to see maybe one day when you're doing something with an artist, I want to see how they move or like maybe pick some manager's brain or like nobody ever hits you up asking for the stuff that's like actually going to benefit them. Everybody hits you up asking for the look. And just asking for a look, them looks got to be earned. I done put in a lot of time to even be able to crack the mic. So if I'm going to talk to you about your story, you better give me a fucking great story. Like, you better been out here working. And that's what I hate is, like, I hate it when people hit me like, yo, interview me. I'm like, about what? I don't even know who you are. I haven't heard your music. I don't know where you're from. I don't know nothing. So it's like, I think artists need to really put the time into building themselves up and having a foundation. And I think they also need to study the game and realize that Hot 97 is one of, like, it's the biggest. I mean, us and Power 105 are the biggest stations on the planet for hip hop. So it's like, think of all the artists that are bigger than you. Think of how many of those are coming in for interviews. Where do you fit? Because I tell you right now, I didn't come to Hot 97 with the attitude of, like, I'm going to be on the radio. I got on the radio after 9 years of, like, grinding. And they didn't even put me on the radio until I started doing Dash. Until I started doing smaller internet shows. So it's the same for artists. If an artist is out here, I'd rather artists come sit with me for an interview and say, I done been interviewed on this internet show, that internet show. I done performed at this dive bar, at this shitty place. And then tell me, yo, I made it to a point where I got your attention. We're here. As opposed to coming up and being like, hey, I have music. Yo, check out my music. Or, yo, I'm this person. Follow me on a... Like, there's nothing there. I can't do nothing with you. So artists, don't ask for interviews. Put in the work. Or if you're going to ask for interviews, ask with people that make sense. Because you don't see me hitting up Jay-Z. You don't see me asking... I don't even ask Wiz Khalifa to come sit on my show. Because for me, it don't make sense. When Wiz Khalifa hit me, when Yachty hit me, when Travis Scott hit me, first person I call is Ebro or Rosenberg. Yo, Travis Scott's trying to come to the station. That's a morning show look. That's not... I could run with it. People show me the love, but you got to do what makes sense. I look crazy sitting with Travis Scott today and then sitting with an up-and-coming artist tomorrow. They're going to be like, all right, well, when are you going to sit with another big artist? You got to do what makes sense. And that's the thing. You won't hurt yourself more with an interview sounding crazy, not being polished, than you will if you put in the time.
Well, Kane said he didn't know that he could ask you to come and sit in on an interview.
But that's the thing. You got to study up. You see, because everybody always asks for it after I mention it. But, like, then what's the thing? Then, like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you really trying to accomplish? Respectfully. Like, and I don't know Kane at all. So I'm not saying this intention. I'm just saying the perception is like this kid wants to come up and use my platform to tell his story. Right? You gotta think of that ahead of time. It's the same reason I was never trying to be on the radio when I was working for Rosenberg, because I know that I'm not here for that. I'm here to help him out. Right? So it's like same thing even right now to this day with Ebro. If I'm in a room and Ebro and Rosenberg are having a conversation, I don't jump in on the conversation. If I have a point to make, I'll wait till they're done talking and then bring it up. Because it's just like you have to appreciate like how hard people go to be in their situations, and you got to really respect the platform that they built and that they're on. You know, so if you approach somebody in a way where it's like, listen, I'm going to add to this situation. I want to come shadow you. Can I come take pictures? Can I come shoot video? Can I do something? Even if it's like you work at a pizzeria, yo, can I come by with some pizza?
But see,
it's just that genuine aspect goes a longer way.
Yeah, and I get that. But see, even Magistrate Rob just made this point, and I was going to make the same point. Mm-hmm. I didn't, like, I pretty much shoot my shot. Like, listen, you might tell me no, but I'm at least going to try. And seeing as you're never on Facebook anyways, that was a Hail Mary that you answered back. I go and I ask you, hey, can you come by and whatever. If I go and ask you now as a photographer or someone that actually wants to learn the radio industry, I don't care. I really don't fucking care if I'm on the radio. Because when he decided to put the Rockview radio up, I was like, I really just don't give a shit. Let me just do what I want to do.
But you know what it is? You know what made me come here, honestly? What makes me come here is like you invited me to your studio. You have your show that you're doing. Like you approached me on Facebook and Instagram and you hit me like, hey, I want to invite you here. You didn't hit me up like, hey, can I come to Hot 97 and sit with you for an interview? And the difference in that is like, okay, like you're welcoming me into your situation that you put in the time to build, right? Asking to come to my situation, all I'm going to think is like, well, why don't you have a studio? How are you doing these other shows? What's the deal? And it's just, it comes across like a little fishy because, again, I'm only saying it because I wouldn't approach it that way personally.
Yeah.
It's not like I said, when I hit Rosenberg up, it wasn't, hey, can I get a job? It was, hey, I'm a lost kid and I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm in this group home and I really love music and I could just use some guidance. And he told me go to school. And I didn't hit him like, nah, I'm good. I tried to go to school. I spent money to do that. I spent time to do that. I dropped out because it was frustrating. I wasn't making money. I seen him again the next year. It wasn't like, hey, give me a job, give me a job. It was like, hey, I tried going to school. I tried to follow through with this. It's not working out. I got these bills. Second year, same thing. Yo, go to school. It wasn't until the third year that I was like, bro, I tried school twice. The advice you're giving me isn't working. I know this is where I could add to your situation. Like, give me a shot. And even then, once I asked him that in person, it wasn't like, yo, can I get your number? I'm going to call you every day. Can I get your gram? Follow me back. It was like straight up like, yo, if you need me, like, this is my info. Like, I really hope to hear from you. And like, it took a week. I didn't hit him every day that whole week. Like, yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? I gave him a space. He knows where I'm at. And you're going to want to fuck with people that are on that time. You want to deal with people that's like truly about, you know, connecting dots and building bridges and doing things in a genuine way.
But also, not many people are like you, because when I did that, I was like, okay, this could go one of two ways. He could leave me on red, or he could say yes.
Yeah.
But for an artist to go and say, hey, can I come to your situation to see what you're doing so I can learn? 99% of the time, they're gonna get shot down. So that I kind of agree when the artists are kind of
I get it
in that sense.
I feel you. It's still a shot in the dark, but again, then you're reaching out to the wrong people. Because I'll tell you right now, a kid that's trying to make it, there's a million podcasts out here. If an artist came up to you and was like, hey, I want to be on your podcast, are you shutting them down?
No.
All right. Why not?
Because everyone deserves a chance. That's why I started this thing.
I agree. So you have a platform where you're able to do that. People don't hit me up like, hey, can I come to your dad's show? People don't hit me up like, hey, I saw you did this internet show. I see you're on the Long Island show. People ask me to come to Hot 97. I go out my way every week for no money doing shows on Dash. I haven't gotten paid for that show, and I've been doing it for 5 years. I do that strictly for the artists. I play artist music on there. I do interviews on there. Nobody ever hits me like, hey, I heard you played my song on Dash. Nobody ever hits me like, hey, I heard that interview on Dash. Nobody ever hits me with it. I have people hit me like, yo, why are you not supporting me? And I'm like, what do you mean? I've been playing your song on Dash for a month. So it's like, that's the thing. You have to do what makes sense. If an artist hit me up like, yo, I want to know more about the Dash show, I'm up and coming, like, and I see that you play a lot of up and coming artists there, cool. If you listen to the show, you're going to see that it makes sense for a lot of artists. But if you watch Hot 97 show, the artists I bring up there is Smoke Perp. I'm bringing Rich the Kid. I'm bringing Jay Critch. These kids are a little bit more elevated. They have a more stable situation. I wouldn't say better, but it's more stable. And they have some backing. They have some traction. It adds to my show. It adds to their show. It's a mutual, like, we mutually win. So I'm not against building with people, but like I said, I don't have to do a Dash show. I do it for the love. So when people come at me and don't even mention it, but go straight to Hot 97, it just makes me feel like you're not appreciating the stuff that I am trying to do for you. You're just looking for a bigger connect. And honestly, like I said, Hot 97 is the biggest in the world. We reach millions and millions of people every week. Or is that where you're at in your career? Are you at a place in your career where you should be doing an interview on a #1 radio station in the biggest market in the world? Because if not, whether I bring you up or not, it's not going to help you. That's what I think artists mess up too, is they want the interview on the big station so they could post it on their gram and be like, look where I was at. But now you go 5 months without another big station hitting you. You go 6 months without a big DJ playing your record. You go a year without doing a big show. So now it's just like, I look bad. It's like, yo, why'd you play that kid? He hasn't done shit. Why are you not playing me? So it's like, there's a place to do that. You just got to look for it. And it's not Hot 97. Hot 97 is about bringing up artists that have solid foundations, that have spent years grinding, or that have taken the time to really build it out. And I'm not saying it's a perfect system. There's a lot of bullshit that comes through Hot 97. There's kids that blow up in 3 months that end up there. But you know what? Labels get behind them. They push them onto these tours. They set them up in situations. And the lessons that these kids end up learning are more when they fuck up on their taxes or fuck up with their record label deals and this and that. But for an up-and-coming artist that's trying to do it right, the lesson you got to learn is early that you got to get yourself into a situation that makes sense for you. That's radio. That's a deal. That's management. People want Scooter Braun to manage them. It's like you can't keep up with that Scooter Braun system. So it's like you can't just look at people for what stature they have. You can't just say, this is exactly like I was fighting with this guy today. I'm gonna keep it 100. I just was fighting with Scally about the same thing today. I saw a therapist for the first time today, right in a minute. I went to a dude. This dude has no PhD, none of that. He just looked like a mad cool guy. I'm like, I want to talk to somebody I relate to. I don't really want to talk to somebody that might have went through the whole college system and isn't gonna understand me being a 3-time dropout.
Yeah.
So it's like different things make sense for different people, and whether it's like one person has the status or not. In my personal opinion, there are people that should be talking to Flex about records. If you're trying to break in the club, if you're trying to be more mainstream, then go holler at Flex about your record. But if you're trying to come up in the underground, then talk to me. And I always give advice. But as far as coming on my show and having me take 3 hours out my day traveling, recording, editing, putting beds together, like y'all know how much goes into putting out this show. Why am I doing that for somebody that's not adding to the show? I already do it once a week for Dash. Why am I going to do it again on a bigger platform? It just doesn't make sense. So it's like I get why people ask, but again, if you're going to succeed in this industry, that's a horrible way to go about it. You should be seeking knowledge before you seek looks.
Okay. Kane writes, take your chances, yo. I don't care if a dude don't want to hear me. I do. Sorry. Take your chances, yo. I don't care if a dude don't want to hear me. I do this for the culture. That's from Kane.
And that's dope. Do it for the culture, but you're trying to do it in a way for the business too. So it's like that's a bad attitude to have. It's a horrible attitude to have, Kane. Straight up. And it makes me not want to listen to your music. Plain and simple, because I do it for the culture also. But how would Kane feel if he worked his ass off for 10 years grinding, shot videos, hired management, worked at a deli, paid out of pocket to put his mixtapes out, to put his EP out, and then I invite him up, and the person sitting in the lobby right behind him is some kid that didn't do any of that?
No,
how he gonna feel?
I would feel like crap.
Exactly. So you gotta earn it. Same way I gotta earn it.
So Rolando Nellis, who's also one of his stage name is Alpha Row, and he goes into I got a question. What is hip hop to you? What does it mean to you?
I mean, hip hop means a lot of things to me. I think it's more like vast than it was back in the day when it was just like the DJing, breakdancing, rapping, graffiti. Now it's just like it doesn't really have a definition. Like I'm kind of enjoying this genre-less like phase of music we're having. But like hip hop to me is more just like defined by hustle. I feel like all those elements that originally started hip hop, whether it's being a DJ, whether it's breakdancing, whether it's graffiti, rapping, whatever it is, it all stems from like you have to go out and get it and hustle. So for me, hip hop is hustle.
It's for the culture, guys.
Almost everything.
Almost. So we're back. Had a little music break. Play a lot of dope music. You think so?
I mean, from what I heard, there was one or two of them that definitely like distracted me and caught my ear. We was deep in conversation though.
Yeah, we got stuck in a really deep conversation. But let me ask you a question, because part of that conversation, do you feel like the media actually does their work as media?
No, not at all. I think 99% of DJs and media and all that don't do their job, which is really to educate the artist that's trying to get on and keep shit moving. And like I said this off the air, is like if you want me to push your shit, that's what radio is for. Radio is to keep things pushed. Like give me a circle. I can't be out here pushing squares. So if your stuff isn't like perfectly packaged and well organized, radio can't help you. Even with playing, if your music's not on Shazam and nobody can find it, I could press play 1,000,000 times. All I'm going to end up with is mad DMs. What's that? What's that? What's that? That's all I'm going to get.
So you get that often?
All the time.
So now the media doesn't do their work, but do the artists actually do their work in approaching media?
I mean, the same way 1% of media does their job, 1% of artists do their job. And granted, I'm not like, I shouldn't even say that because I'm not the one that decides who's an artist. There's levels to being an artist. There are artists that are in the streets that just constantly make music that don't give a fuck about any media attention. They're doing their job. There's artists that only care about the media attention, but they partner with labels and they build up their shit and they get it. They doing their job. So there's no one right way to do your job as an artist. That's what the beauty of being an artist is you're able to be free to do what you want. You don't have the restraints. If you sign to a label, you're going to have some restraints. But what comes with those restraints is they'll connect you to radio. They'll connect you to these bigger platforms. But if you're just an artist on the come up, that's the best place to be because you now can do things any which way. But it's like, if you really want to be the next big thing, have a website, have a photo shoot, do the things, even if you have no money at all. You like, oh, I can't afford a photo shoot and a website. All right, bet. Then go do the things that are free. Like make sure your bio is clean. Make sure your Instagram is clean. Make sure you're following people that are adding to your business, people that you can learn things from. Don't just chase hype.
So, by the way, this person here is a photographer, and that person over there has his own recording studio.
See that?
So if you want, we have these services. It costs you some money, but you could call us.
I'll tell y'all straight up, anybody watching this, if you haven't hit them to work, don't hit me to work. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
That sounded like a cosign right there.
Real shit, because it's like, that's like I do shows like this and I like coming on to do interviews because it's like I need to also get good at telling my story, and I enjoy talking, and it makes me a better personality in the grand scheme of things. It's not just like, oh my God, whoever's watching this show is now going to watch me. It's like, nah, I genuinely like talking shit and hanging out and kicking it with good people. So it's like the same thing. Like if you're an artist and you're reaching out to me, I'm doing shit 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. There's a platform here where you got a photographer, you got a studio, and you got an outlet to do interviews.
And we also offer write-ups.
And write-up. Look, so now if an artist come mess with y'all, right, they could come to me with a write-up, with a photo shoot, with records, and with an interview. But when you coming to me empty-handed, like I just got music, you're not working the outlets right. You can't beat the system. You got to make the system work for you. Plain and simple. Everybody's trying to beat the system and go straight to the source. Make the system work for you, because that's what I'm doing every day.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think that the people dropping like $75 and stuff on album covers, is it actually worth it?
I think whatever you feel like personally is going to be good for your brand is worth it. I don't tell people how to spend. Me personally, I try and do things as free or cheap as possible, even if it takes longer. But everybody's approach is different. I sit with artists that are artists that get lit off just dropping singles. I have artists that I'm cool with that are great at putting together EPs and never drop singles. Nobody could tell you how to be an artist. But like when you're trying to transition from being an artist to being an entertainer, people need to train you to do, or you need to study. Like there's a big difference between being an entertainer and being an artist, and people don't realize that.
So what is the difference then?
Being an entertainer, you're out here really making your money and trying to do like things in a way where it's going to build a business, build some funding, build some sort of like financial foundation. Being an entertainer is somebody that's out here trying to put together shows so that they move people, so that people feel the energy. Like being an entertainer is like a 24-hour a day, 7-day a week job.
So you consider yourself an entertainer?
Reluctantly. Like that's the thing with me. Like personally, like I naturally entertain people and like it's cool. But like what makes me like an entertainer at all is the fact that like I spend time putting together my shows, that I put the time into like making sure people could get the content. And that makes me like, that's the difference, is like an artist is somebody who's just out here like, okay, I'm going to make music. An entertainer is out here like, no, I need to figure out how to get my music heard. I need to figure out how to get my live show seen. I need to figure out like there's more to it. Like being an entertainer is a career. It's a job. Being an artist could be a job, could be a career, but it starts with just being creative. And like, that's the thing. You could be an artist and just be creative and be out here making stuff, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're built to be an entertainer. Just because, honestly, like with me, I'm good at talking shit because I cut hair, made pizza, and worked and sold mattresses and stuff. It doesn't mean I'm meant for radio. I'm in radio because I'm good at it and I work at it. But like at the end of the day, I'm not like Rosenberg, who I eat, sleep, and breathe entertaining and radio and ratings and all that. I'm doing it because I enjoy good music and I'm having fun with it. But throw me on a morning show, you're going to see real quick. You will see real quick that it's a different beast when you're dealing with somebody that's really like loves being a journalist and a broadcaster, and somebody that enjoys music and is a fan. And like for me, if I'm not real about that with myself, I'm gonna get stuck. Like I'm real with myself. I self-reflect. I'm like, okay, well, what do I like so much about this game? I enjoy like educating artists more than I enjoy trying to make people laugh or entertain them. Do I like it? Yeah, it's cool. Could I do it for a profession? I mean, I'm doing it. But like ultimately my passion is doing management. So everything I'm doing now is with the intention of like I need to learn how to build with artists, how to see who's growing and who's not, how to see who gives ambition to what, and understand what it is that I really want to do. Because I could go sign an artist right now just off the strength of radio and do nothing with them. That doesn't make me a manager. That makes me a guy with a management title. You know? It's the same for entertainers. Just because you make music don't mean you're an entertainer. You got to put in a lot of practice.
So this is the part of the night.
Oh, it's the hot questions.
So let me count for you how many people actually said fry you.
Let's see if y'all gonna fry me.
I got 1, 2. Where are you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got 15 people that wanted me to fry you.
All right, let's get it. All 15 of y'all. Y'all in the live?
No, unfortunately not.
You see that? That's wild disrespectful. That's my whole point. 15 people want to fry me, but only fucking how many people want to watch?
2.
Y'all don't love us.
I ain't shit. 11:42. By now, everyone's sleeping.
You get what I'm saying, though? It's like, that's my thing. It's like, if you're going to be in, be in.
Would it be too much if I ask one of your friends to record this? I haven't done this in a while.
You got it, Sally?
Thank you so much. Wait, gotta get him too. Yeah. Okay. So it literally mixed up because if I was originally gonna put like 10 appropriate ones, 10 inappropriate ones, but then I was like, fuck it. So wings or halal food?
Halal food.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Ass or tits?
Ass.
Apple or Android?
Apple. Come on, really?
I mean,
really?
listen.
Come on.
Listen, I didn't know both the plug and the low were both Apple. I didn't know that.
It's all Apple.
But
fuck Apple.
Ganja or liquor?
Ganja.
Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Wrestling or UFC?
Wrestling.
Tequila or Henny?
Henny.
Good answer. Cake or cookies?
Cookies.
Muffin top or big ass?
What? Neither.
Neither? Okay.
No muffin tops, no big asses. I can't handle it. It's too much for me to handle. I get intimidated easily.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
I have a muffin top, and I hate my muffin top.
Where do you have a muffin top, bro?
I cover it with all these big clothes.
I'm here like 250 pounds, and you're talking about a little bit of...
You go. We got to go to the gym together and lose our muffin tops.
I mean, I'm with it. 100 people say they want to go to the gym and they never go.
No, we're swimming every day. You want to come swimming? We going tomorrow morning.
I mean, I can make it like halfway before I drown.
No, you see this bad attitude. Let's do it.
I'm a horrible swimmer. Would you do a line of coke with Betty White or Miley Cyrus?
I don't do any coke ever. I never tried coke.
It was a question that came up on the internet.
If I would rather hang out with Betty White for sure.
I mean,
I would watch her do coke all day and be super entertained.
Because there was 2 questions that came up.
Who says I could trust Miley Cyrus's coke either? Come on, really? At least Betty White's a friendly lady. She works with animals. But I'm not doing any coke.
You never saw Hot in Cleveland. She's not friendly.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I definitely know she loves puppies.
So 2 questions came up with that. It was either do a line of coke with Betty White or Miley Cyrus, or French kiss Betty White or Miley Cyrus.
I French kiss Betty White right now. All day.
Martin or the Fresh Prince?
That's a tough one too. Probably Fresh Prince, but I love Martin.
80s music or 90s music?
90s music.
Skinny or fat?
Probably skinny, I guess. Like, in what way? Like me? I would rather be skinny than fat.
Skinny women or fat women?
I mean, probably neither.
That was an open-ended question.
It depends on the woman. How nice is she? Is she a nice girl? Is she like a stand-up person? What are her grades like? Did she go to school? What's her deal?
Did she come from a good family?
Fat. You're not catching me with that one.
Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter.
Shaved or hairy?
Like what? Like pussy? Probably shaved. Hairy pussy, scary pussy. It's real shit.
To be alone with no charger or no Wi-Fi?
Does it make a difference, really?
I mean...
Does it really make a difference?
I don't know.
If I don't have Wi-Fi, I don't need a charger. Just play Candy Crush all day. Where am I alone?
High five.
It's too many variables. You should play this game with Scally. Everything for him is black and white.
To lie or which is worse, lying or lying by omission?
What's lying by omission?
Not saying anything at all.
Oh, I mean, I like being honest. I don't. You can't lie. Period. Like I would rather be straight up. There's no lies. Lies are too hard to remember.
Okay. Would you rather a girl dirty talk you on the phone or send nudes?
Probably send nudes.
Okay.
Because I can't keep up with the dirty talk either. Be honest. I mean, like, oh, that's nice.
Laura Styles or Miss Info?
Don't do that to me. Don't do that. Don't. Next question. Don't do that.
Would you rather?
They're both in happy relationships, and I love them dearly as friends.
I mean, listen. You're gonna hate me for the one after this. Then. Would you rather walk in on your parents or have your parents walk in on you having sex?
Probably my parents walk in on me because I'd rather fuck their life up than them fuck mine up more. They've already done wonders.
So you have to blame Comey Brooks for this one. Ebro or Funk Flex?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know because you can't really have one without the other. I don't know. That's like impossible. It's like asking the top 5 because I'll tell you why straight up because I would say Ebro because I think I relate more to Ebro, but I'm also probably closer with Flex and I've learned a lot of shit being around Flex and he's given me like random opportunities at times. So like it's hard to say because I love and respect both of them like equally. It's like a perfect 50-50.
Nas or Prodigy?
Nas or Prodigy? Nas all day. Rest in peace, Prodigy, though.
Waffle or French toast?
All right, French toast.
Family Guy or South Park?
South Park.
Would you rather a female with personality or sense of humor?
A personality. If you have a good personality, you have a good sense of humor. But she has to have a sense of humor.
Club DJs or radio DJs?
Radio DJs, come on.
No, because that was actually a valid question. Because there's some radio DJs that actually prefer to be club DJs.
I don't be in the club, so I'm gonna just say radio DJs because like I know all the radio DJs.
Okay, he lived through this. He didn't answer the one for Miss Info, but it's okay.
I can't answer that one. How are you gonna put that on me? Miss Info. First of all, me and Miss Info, like she's seen me a million times and has never said really a word to me besides like hi or move. So like, I just like I don't know. I can't really mess with Miss Info. I just know that her kid's really cute. So like that's cool.
Aww.
And then Laura is like a good friend for years, and like her boyfriend's mad cool. So I could never.
Okay, we can shut that off. We finish the speed round.
Don't get it twisted. I'm trying to think of a girl I would smash from radio, but I don't know. I know them all too well. Like if I didn't know people personally, maybe some girl on the West Coast somewhere. I'm trying my best to answer your questions.
Don't worry, you got it though. You're the first person that actually didn't break during this.
Yeah, what'd I tell you? The seat's still cold, by the way.
Listen, we wait till the ganja comes out, then we figure it out then.
Okay. We're going to smoke and come back in here and do another podcast.
I mean, that's if he lets me without having to pay for my airtime. But we're going to go into one last track, then we talk our shit.
Esh, get it.
And the song went out.
Tell the story.
So, as Chuck Brennan said, I don't ask people for interviews. I somehow unintentionally asked him for an interview, and then something major happens like a month later, right before the interview is supposed to happen. So then we get into part 1 of his interview series was December of 2017. Then we did October of 2018. Now, sometime in 2019, I'm going to ask him for an interview, and then something's going to pop up again. I'm the one that's going to be doing it. And in each interview, we're arguing about something.
But you know why? You know why?
What?
What happens is, I told you before, I'm not going to do an interview unless we're talking about something. Don't just interview people and be like, okay, this is what says in your bio, cool. Do a freestyle, play a song, get up out of here.
Exactly.
You give interviews. So I do interviews because I can talk and have the dialogue.
But here's the thing. So the first interview we did, we recorded that shit 3 weeks before it actually was airing because it was supposed to air on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So, mind you, he's watching the basketball game. I'm being a fat ass. Yep. And people are texting us both. Did he really say that? I'm like, yo, they really think that we're doing this live right now.
Yeah, because the way that we did it and we had conversation. Smooth. And then the numbers, I remember the numbers were high that time. Both times. The numbers were high because we were actually talking. It wasn't just, here's your bio, go freestyle.
You see how much better shit is when
I didn't even have your fucking bio.
Right. I said, no, just talk to me about, you already know me. Just let's have a conversation. And that's what happened.
And mind you, it took me 1 year and 6 months to actually get to know this person because he was quiet for like 10 months.
Nah, I believe it.
Yeah.
But that's why
I have to.
That's what I'm saying, though. For the artist, it's like y'all in the same room together all the time. It took her 1.5 years to get familiar. Like, right. Think of all the people that's just in DMs.
Exactly.
And, like, not for knowing how many we met a couple times.
Quite
like,
a few times.
This is the most familiar I've been. I recognize, like, but at the same time, we don't know or have conversation. Right. It's like, it takes time. You're going to always end up being in situations where you're going to be, and we're going to do work. Like, but that's the thing. It's like, you got to give it that time. You just got to let things happen organically. Everybody has something in the moment that they could be focused on. And it's like they ignoring it for something else that they want in the future. It's just going to cost you both.
100%.
Holy shit. So WWE just showed Batista come out with a fucking dog to attack Ric Flair for his fucking birthday. Holy shit. I can't wait to watch Raw tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Ric Flair. Woo!
Yo, he's like old as fuck, though. Not even. He's like 68 and he looks like he's 80.
He does. He's old. He looks old.
That's what happens when you fuck like 500 bitches in your record, but Batista looks like a fucking god still. Oh, look. He's literally dragging him.
Like a god still. That's disrespectful. How dare you?
Yo, how do you do that?
How dare you?
You're just setting up another. You're just setting up a storyline right here.
Hey, Hunter. Do I have your attention now?
Yeah, you have it.
You just stopped the whole show.
Ah!
What the fuck was this about?
Uh-oh.
Oh, get him.
You know, my man comes out the fucking... He about to run down.
Are you about to take the shirt, the suit off?
How dare you fucking play with Flair like that? How dare you play with Flair like that?
Everyone's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, you know, he about to run down on a fool. He'll be like, you good? You good, Flair?
I thought y'all stopped this shit already. You had the reunion, too. You had Evolution's reunion like a few months ago.
Nah, this is real right here. This is
they didn't want to give us the whole thing. Fucking
of course
shit.
Not.
Of course not, WWE. Now you're gonna make me wait till tomorrow? Suck a weenie.
You know Flair will be alright, though.
I mean, yeah, the man survived a heart attack or whatever that shit was last year.
And that was in real life.
That was a real life thing.
Yeah.
This wasn't even a fucking storyline. But, so now the WWE actually brought Raw to Raw. My name is Katie K. Where can they find you, my love?
At HipHop Mike on everything.
Oh, yeah.
Simple.
Make sure he gets the blue check, please.
They'll never give me the blue check.
Why?
Because they don't like that I tell people what the fuck is really good, and I don't just feed into their Instagram shenanigans. See, they just want people spending money. It's like any company. It's cool. I don't need the blue check. Y'all know what it is.
And where you got any events coming up this weekend or anything?
Not this weekend, but I have a bunch. There's a lot coming up. I'm really focused on South by Southwest right now, so I'm gonna drop the flyer for that this week, hopefully, and just that's it. We out here.
Yeah, my friend. I'm working with someone named Billy. She told me she's gonna be doing the event with you in South by Southwest.
Oh, dope. Yes, we'll be out there. We're gonna be chilling.
Yeah, y'all gonna be chilling. I'm gonna be here in the fucking freezing cold. Like, yo, I fucking hate you guys.
Ticket.
See, I would love to, but that thing costs money, and that's like the pockets I don't got right now.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Like,
I've definitely been in your shoes when it comes to that. You'll have money just soon enough. By next year, you're gonna be at South by. I promise you.
Don't worry. The goal is next year. But
you gonna do it?
Rock, you got shit coming up? The 8th, the 15th.
Yeah, he sees the whole calendar here. I gotta see what
It's official.
I mean, it's sad when
off top of that, no March 15th. We got the next one. We just did the 5,000 with Presidents of the Underground last week.
Where my shit got right.
Yeah, but the next one is March 15th at Blackthorn 51. That's going to be Rockview Madness. You know, because it's March instead of March Madness, we do Rockview Madness, and then that's going to be at Blackthorn 51, so they can catch us there. If anybody want to do that, hit you up, and you can just let me know what's up.
And you got a rep from I Heard Media coming? What's up with that?
Oh well, you know David L. He's hosting, so David L. is hosting.
Okay,
he's coming on behalf of that,
the guy
and then and Jason Bourne gonna be there again on behalf of Hype Magazine. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna perform again like I did last time, and have the other artists do what they do.
Well, if you want, just send me whoever pays for a package. I'll give them a write up. Just let me know.
Oh well, see, artists, you heard her. Let them know. She said y'all getting on and y'all getting packages. She's throwing in write up. So
go get a package and don't be cheap. I'm just throwing that out there. Don't be cheap.
Hey.
Pay my man S-Rock.
Yo, and they got to get Bernie Sanders in office 2020.
Yo, dead
if you
though.
Listening, I need Bernie Sanders in office 2020.
Don't
fucking play with me.
First of all,
don't fucking play with me.
Like, the way they played him last time, if it happens this time, Bernie's not living through that.
Nah, I need Bernie Sanders in office 2020. If you're tuned in and you could vote, go do that. If you're tuned in and you can't vote, figure out how to register and go to the town hall.
And if not, you can go fuck yourself. But my name is Katie K. This is Monday Night Raw. Welcome to the Rawrrzone. It is now 12:01. Rock's gonna kick me off in a few minutes. We'll be back in a couple weeks for Women's History Month. You know, praise the queens everywhere. My name is Katie K. And I will almost shock myself. We are out.